A pleasant good evening, or I guess I should say good morning at this point as we pass midnight. Thanks for tuning in to Hawkeye Extra, where we always take an in-depth look at the Hawkeyes and the rest of the local sports world. Now, I'm not sure if you heard, but the Hawks had a big game, I guess technically yesterday. Let's be honest, even the most diehard of Hawkeye fans weren't really expecting an upset, were they? Fourth-ranked Ohio State hasn't lost since Urban Meyer took over. 18-0 are the Buckeyes since then, the longest streak in the country. But the Hawkeyes are anything but intimidated. And regardless of the outcome, they showed that today. The outcome, though, is still a bit important. Iowa invades the Horseshoe for the first time since 2009, and they wasted no time to prove they came ready to play. Getting the ball first, the Hawks finished a long, methodical drive with this Jake Rudock strike to C.J. Fedorowicz. Iowa takes a 7-0 lead after the Buckeyes split the uprights. This happened. Rudock to Fedorowicz again takes a vicious hit from Bradley Roby. Take another look at this thing. They would disqualify Roby for targeting. The drive led to an Iowa field goal. Ohio State would then tie the game with another long drive from Iowa, and this time Rudock finds Cavante Martin-Manley wide open in the end zone, his only catch of the day. Couldn't have scripted a better first half, though. 17-10 Hawkeyes. Second half, Ohio State comes out strong. Carlos Hyde, brother of former Hawkeye Micah Hyde, he pounds his way into the end zone. That is the first rushing score the Hawkeye defense has given up all season. All good things come to an end, I guess. The Buckeyes would score again to take the lead, but Iowa not going down without a fight. Rudock, that's Jake Doozy. That's a doozy of a play. 85 yards, touchdown Iowa. That's a tight end looking like a wideout, folks. Iowa ties it up, but Hyde was a bit too much. Iowa has a tough defense. Hyde was a bit tougher on this play. Rolling through the Hawkeyes like bowling pins. Iowa State takes the lead. A valiant effort from the Hawks. They played well enough to beat most teams, but not Ohio State today. 34-24 is your final score as Iowa falls to 1-2 in the Big Ten. There are no moral victories in this conference, but the Hawkeyes certainly proved they're a team to be reckoned with.
I don't think it was a matter of effort for us today. We just didn't play well enough, and our opponent now obviously had something to do with that. So, and the real key is what we do moving forward now, what we do tomorrow.
We battled the whole game, didn't quit at all, definitely not. I thought we got better during the bye week and then this week of preparation, getting ready for them. And yeah, you just got to give them credit. They beat us today.
I mean, it just shows us again that we can play with whoever we want, and we just got to keep working on our game, and we'll come back tomorrow, and then we'll forget about it and come to the next game.
Iowa certainly played well enough to win before halftime, but after intermission, the defense was clearly gassed. That or Ohio State took it up a notch. Either way, as sports director Jared Aarons explains, everything certainly changed when they left for the second half.
The Hawkeyes gave up touchdowns to Ohio State on their first 3 drives of the second half, letting the Buckeye offense do pretty much whatever it wanted and take control of the game.
That's why they're a good football team. They're very explosive. They got a lot of guys that can hurt you. And then the second half, they did a really nice job of marching the ball down the field.
I suppose a good way to say it would be maybe they're just nickel and diamond the ball down the field. In every defense, you surrender something. And I think, a credit to their coaching staff and their players for doing a good job of, finding those areas where they can be efficient.
Efficient may be a major understatement. In just the second half, the Buckeyes had 306 yards of offense, including 21 first downs, and they won 8 of 10 on third downs, fueled mostly by the play of Braxton Miller and Carlos Hyde.
Their running game improved. I can say that. That's one thing that improved. And also, like I said, Braxton Miller, he started scrambling a lot more than we expected.
Certainly, I thought we played tough. And I thought we played with great effort. I thought our hearts were in the right place, but it was just some things that, we need to fine-tune.
It's tough, but we knew that coming in. We knew it was going to be a challenge. Whatever they've been averaging, 40-some points a game, 48 or 44, doesn't really matter. They didn't luck into that. They got a good offensive football team, and we knew it was going to be a challenge.
There wasn't much talk of moral victories in the Hawkeye locker room. In fact, everyone I spoke with said pretty much the same thing. A loss is a loss, no matter who it's against or by how many points. And Coach Ferentz boiled it down to just 2 words. He said his team just has to get better. At Ohio Stadium, Jared Aarons, Fox 28 News at 9.
Thank you, Jared. Get better. Easier said than done. It was a disappointing loss because of how well the Hawks played for much of this game. And no position excelled more than the tight ends today. C.J. Fedorowicz is turning into Jake Rudolph's security blanket, hauling in the first touchdown for the Hawks for the second straight game. He finished with 4 catches for 29 yards, but the senior was outdone by a sophomore, Jake Doozy. 6 catches for 138 yards, 85 of them on this long touchdown that got the Hawks back in it. The 2 tight ends had more catches than all the wide receivers combined today. And after the game, Doozy got all the praise.
I mean, we practiced it all week, and it was just a play that was called, and they didn't have to check out of it. And he threw it to me. You never know who's going to catch the ball, and he threw it to me and just kept running.
I mean, you always want to try to hit him in stride. Right. And the way the safety moved on that one, then he caught it and he took off. I was like, all right, cool.
We've been high on Jake all along, and it's just funny how some opportunities come your way sometimes. But we're high on all those guys. They're a good group of players.
So Doozy almost sparks a massive upset elsewhere in the Big Ten. Minnesota pulls off a much smaller upset at Northwestern, 20-17. The Wildcats are the Hawkeyes' next opponent. Michigan tops Indiana in a shootout. Michigan State blanks Purdue, as everyone apparently seems to do. Not on your screen is Wisconsin. They topped Illinois 56-32. Texas Road Tour still to come. The Hawkeyes not the only team in Iowa looking for a big upset. Iowa State staying in the Lone Star State for a second straight week, looking to be the first to slow down the Baylor Bears. They did not. To Waco next on Hawkeye Extra. The Baylor Bears lead the nation in scoring offense and total offense. They average 63 points per game and 714 yards. Iowa State, the latest team to try and slow down the Bears. Unfortunately for the Cyclones, it's defense where they struggle the most. That's why they were a 32.5-point underdog. Ridiculous. Well, maybe not. First quarter, Bryce Petty finds Antoine Goodley in the corner of the end zone. Baylor on the board, up 7-0 early. But here's their bread and butter. This is what makes Baylor so tough to defend. Petty finds Tevin Reese up the middle. That gets them down to the 2-yard line. Okay, so it's now 1st and goal. But Baylor fans, they know exactly what to expect. You can't get up and go get a hot pretzel. I'm not even editing this part of the highlight. This is real time, and that's how quickly they snap the ball, and Leach Seastrunk takes it in. The Bears run so quickly, and that's why they put up so many yards and points. Now 20-0. Here's Seastrunk again. Takes the handoff, and just look at him go. It's outside, back inside. Hey, let's go outside again. Ends up down at the 2-yard line. He punched it in on the very next play. There are some games that aren't as bad as they seem. This ain't one of those games. Iowa State on the verge of being shut out 64-0. But with 47 seconds left, with Grant Rohak in at quarterback, he gets Devondrick Neely, and oh Lord, there's a touchdown Iowa State. I found one for you, so there's no shutout in Waco. Okay, so ISU gets to end at least on a graceful note. Nope. Corey Coleman says, "How dare you score on us?" Takes the ensuing kickoff to the house. 95 yards. I think a lot of people would have taken the 32.5. You should have taken Baylor. 71-7 is the final score here. There are no typos on your screen right now. Baylor won 71-7. The Bears outgained the Cyclones 714, their average, to 174. Again, no typos there. Tough to watch for Cyclone Nation. That one rewrote the definition of a blowout. So let's take a jump around the rest of the Big 12, shall we? Bob Stoops is in Kansas. This one a bit more competitive. And look at this. James Sims. Now that's patience. Kansas up 13-0 on the number 18 team in the country. Do we have an upset? No, we don't. Now 13-8, and Locaton Bester going deep for Sterling Shepard. 49-yard touchdown. Oklahoma comes back to win 34-19. Oklahoma State's taking on TCU. The Cowboys looking to avoid another upset. First quarter, this would help. Josh Stewart gets the punt, and you think you're going to catch him, but you're just not going to catch him. The Horned Frogs all over the place. None of them can keep up. Cutting in, cutting back. It's a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown. It's 7-0 Oklahoma State to the second. Now 10-0 Desmond rolling in from 3 yards out. 17-zip. No issues for OK State. Cowboys go on to win 24-10. Texas Tech on the road in Morgantown, West Virginia, looking to play spoiler. Third quarter, 20-16, West Virginia. Dreamius Smith bounces outside and goes 12 yards for the score. 27-16 Mountaineers. To the fourth quarter we go. Texas Tech down 4. Kenny Williams slices in from a yard out for the go-ahead score. Texas Tech would hold on 37-27. It's time to pay the bills, but another break here on Hawkeye Extra. But don't go anywhere. Northern Iowa is still searching for that elusive first conference win. Tested again today. Find out if UNI could finally break through next on Hawkeye Extra. As well as Northern Iowa has played this year, it's kind of hard to believe they're 0-2 in that valley. Last place, they're coming off an overtime loss, so it's safe to say they really need to start winning again. They had their opportunity today against South Dakota, and this was a bit cray-cray. Everything looked great early on. Sawyer Cole-Morgan, it's Chad Owens. It's a 34-yard pitch and catch. UNI takes the early lead, and then in the second half, David Johnson. The dude was a workhorse today. 35 carries, 181 yards, and this score, 28-7 UNI. It's all good, right? Or is it? After 14 straight from the Coyotes, 5 seconds left in the game. Fourth down, and Kevin Earl finds Terrence Terry. 3-yard score, a 21-point lead gone. UNI forced into overtime again. After both teams kick field goals, second overtime, Earl keeps it himself. That puts South Dakota up 38-31, so UNI has to answer. Fourth down, last chance. Sawyer Cole-Morgan. You can do anything, you just can't take a sack in that scenario. Hard to believe, but it happened again. Another frustrating loss for Northern Iowa, their third straight that came down to the wire, 38-31 in double OT. Mark Farley clearly not happy.
Catch a break the last couple of weeks, but you got to make your breaks. There's no gifts out there. You got to make your breaks, and we're not making them right now. And that's what they have to rally amongst themselves to start moving this thing. Because man, it's going to take all of them right now. You can't just pull Sawyer out and pull David out or pull a couple singulars, go have some good games. It's going to take the 95-man roster. He's going to have to step up.
It's amazing how much of a difference just a few weeks can make. This team was ranked 4th in the nation just 3 weeks ago. The rate they're going, they might fall out of ranking soon. Our own Zach Hanley was at the game and tells us these close losses are starting to become a painful trend in Cedar Falls.
It wasn't a repeat of last Saturday, but it was deja vu all over again for Northern Iowa. Another overtime game and another fourth down stop that ended in a loss.
To lose that close in a game that we were winning the whole time, we just got to get over the hump right now and get back on the winning streak.
I mean, obviously up by 28-7, you set up by 3 touchdowns, you can be pretty confident, and we let this one slip away.
I'm sure they're devastated, as they should be. We didn't make plays going down the stretch of some of these games, and it's been the difference in the games. So, yeah, that's the frustrating part, because all we got to do is make plays.
Even though it's been a frustrating few weeks for the Panthers, the team is trying to stay positive. Jordan Gakey put it best after the game when he said, hey, our season's not over yet. We just have to put our hard hats back on and go to work. At the Unidome, Zach Hanley, Fox 28 Sports.
Thank you, Zach. How about some Iowa Conference football? Number 21 Co. Come on, save the market. They're looking to extend their regular season win streak on homecoming, but Dubuque had other plans. On their opening drive, Brian Bradshaw airs this one out and finds Tyler Rutenbeck. 51-yard touchdown. That opens up the scoring. Co would answer, though. First time the Co-Hawks touch the ball, they take it down the field and cap it off with this 2-yard scamper from Gage Mose. That ties it at 7 apiece. To the second we go. This is where the game changed. Co's Josh Reckers drops back to pass, but he's hit in the backfield, loses the ball, and then Dubuque would take over, and the Spartans would capitalize. Ensuing drive, Bradshaw taken to the air again. This time he finds Chris Bagley in the back of the end zone. Dubuque would pull away after that. 38-14, upsetting Co. A tough loss for the Co-Hawks, but it's a long season.
That's a good football team. They humbled us pretty good today. So, one game a season doesn't make. We can regroup and do all right.
Here's a peek at the rest of the Iowa Conference scores from the day. Central by 10, Wartburg by a field goal over Luther, and Simpson tops Loras 27-10. Who wears a cap and eats up batters like Pac-Man? Answer, Waka Waka Waka. The Iowa City native of Michael Waka helping lead the Cardinals to the World Series. But who would they play? The short list that Waka is on. Next on Hawkeye Extra. The St. Louis Cardinals are heading to the World Series. That's yesterday's news. Tonight, there was a chance to know who their opponent would be. Game 6 of the American League Championship Series, Tigers and Red Sox. Boston leads 3-2. A win tonight punches their ticket to play the Cardinals in the World Series. This was a pitcher's duel early on. Max Scherzer fans former Colonel Mike Napoli in the fourth. Napoli has had a phenomenal ALCS, by the way. But the Sox would strike in the fifth. Jacoby Ellsbury pulls one on into right field. Xander Bogaerts rounding third, and he will score. Clutch two-out hit from Jacoby. 1-0 Boston. Next half inning, the Tigers respond. They got the bases loaded for Victor Martinez, and bam! Off the green monster, Torrey Hunter and Miguel Cabrera score. Detroit takes a 2-1 lead. Same score in the seventh inning. Bases juiced with a man that you want up at the plate. The flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino, his signature moment as a Red Sox. Grand slam. That gives the Sox a 5-2 lead. And in his postseason career, Victorino 4 for 6, 2 grand slams, 16 RBIs with the bases loaded. That is a bit above average. Ninth inning we go. Tying run on deck in the on-deck circle, and he's going to stay there. Koji Urahara saves it. 5-2 the final score. The Red Sox win the American League pennant. So Boston advances to the World Series to face St. Louis, and the Cardinals are going for their 4th time in 9 years. And this season, an Iowan is a big reason why. Iowa City native Michael Waka was brilliant again last night, out-dueling Clayton Kershaw not once, but twice in the NLCS. Waka becomes the first rookie ever to throw 2 scoreless outings in the same postseason series. And it was just the 3rd rookie ever to be named an LCS MVP, joining Livan Hernandez and Mike Boddicker. Good list to be on, and for Waka, it's just a ride that he's trying to enjoy.
You know, they were talking in the clubhouse how not everyone gets this opportunity, and I mean, we have so many rookies on our team that, you know, we just try and, you know, just embrace everything kind of deal, and you know, trying not to take it for granted, and really just take advantage of this opportunity that we're in, and you know, make a push here in the World Series, and you know, it's been a lot of fun.
The Cedar Rapids Ice Arena is hopping this weekend, but not for a Rough Riders game. Cedar Rapids is hosting the U.S. Figure Skating Regionals. It's the Upper Great Lakes region. Over 600 of the Midwest's finest are in town, ranging from just 5- and 6-year-olds to college-age kids. The competition is a stepping stone towards nationals. It's a rare opportunity to go out and see some great talent right here in Iowa.
They will see things that they see on TV, like during the Olympics. They're going to see kids that skate here locally and from all across our region doing the same things that those Olympic skaters are doing.
They'll be out there through Tuesday. It's definitely something you should go check out over the next couple days. Thanks for staying up late and watching Hawkeye Extra with me. Have a great night and a great early morning, everybody. Take care.